In the darkest blackness of human carnage and suffering, police, fire, and EMS intercede on behalf of mankind. God himself reaches out to those who suffer through their hands. Their service is a clear and unmistakable demonstration that God does not abandon people in the storms of life.
We had a retired police chief, can't think of where he was, one of the suburban departments.
Okay.
And also a retired police sergeant from out suburban department too. And I love their insights and their perspective and their passion for peer support. A good diverse group we had like you did. I mean, you know, you had, I may have been the only chaplain in the room for when I went, but there was a dispatcher, patrol deputy. I think we had just a good mix. So it's nice to see people taking an interest in caring for one another.
When your training started, did they go around the room and you introduce yourself and why you were there?
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of people open up?
I think the thing that I was impressed with is I don't think I heard anybody say, "Well, I didn't have a choice."
That is good.
Yeah, my department sent me here. But it was just like they seemed like they were there for the right reason, and the one interesting perspective. The dispatcher, I don't know which department it was, she was carrying guilt over something because she sent her officers into a situation that was potentially fatal for them, and she took that serious. Like, I did that. I sent them there. It's like, ooh.
Well, don't our dispatchers basically send us to everything?
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's not by choice.
No.
It's the call that comes in.
Exactly. That was interesting. I never thought of that guilt factor. It's like, but you were there. It's your shift. Right?
Yeah.
So I
think a lot of us carry that. Even as an operations leader at a large fire or rescue incident or whatever, I would rather be in the hole, than have to stand out there and lead that whole thing, because you take the responsibility for everybody's safety of making sure they go home at least as good as what they came, to managing that whole thing. There's so many elements coming together. A lot of times it's multi-agency, people maybe that you haven't worked with before, but you're still responsible for all of them. So there is, I think, a lot of guilt that goes with that, and I wouldn't even know what to call it really. But when you start talking about some of that stuff, it brings you right back to calls that you were on that stuff didn't go maybe quite right, or that you had to pull people out. And that if you would have been in that same position to make that rescue, that you would have tried. And where you have to tell somebody, no, we're done. This is turned into recovery. That's a hard position to be in, but you know that you have to do it.
Do you find, like, talking about June 12th, as we did, do you find that was helpful? Just not that, oh, geez, you're gonna bring this up again. Does it kind of help a little bit, kind of relieve or vent a little bit?
Yeah,
Do you feel,
every time.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think when the summer was over and I resumed duties at the school, the school obviously, all the staff at the school all knew, but I think they were worried about bringing it up.
Yeah.
And I talked about it. If you came and talked to me, I talked about it because it helps me.
Yeah.
I talked about what I could, my part for that day.
Yeah.
But no, it is helpful. But that's a big thing, right? It's talking.
Yeah.
That's how we
That's
get
how
stuff.
you file it away.
Yep,
Yeah.
as you talk. But you might have to talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It is.
Especially if you go to your peer support team, they understand that.
Yeah.
We're not going to sit there and oh, you're talking about that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many layers to it that you have to deal with, and you get rid of that layer, and now there's another one right there.
Well, not only that, but the layers get built back up
Mm-hmm.
as you go to the next call. As things,
Yeah.
a memory resurfaces. That's a new layer on that peel that you got to just keep
Keep at it.
constantly going at it. And like I said before, it's a never-ending process. You just got to keep peeling, keep working, keep talking.
I want to share a personal story that I meant to share with you privately, but I'm going to do it openly because I think there's, I alluded to it and I said something at the beginning about, being meant to do something and being in the right place at the right time. And, sometimes, so you, as a peer supporter, you may get a nudge. You may have a feeling. And I just, as the peer support supervisor or leader, I would just say, listen, I believe you're going to get nudges and you're going to just get this feeling or the sense that you should do something. Just do it.
That gut feeling.
That gut feeling. And sometimes people refer to it as a gut feeling. And, a lot of times we can talk ourselves out of things, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, I feel like I need to check on somebody. Oh, he's got it all together. What does he need me checking on him for? Besides, I'm intimidated by him. Well, really? I had a situation years ago. In fact, I sent you a picture of a young minister with a clergy collar. I think I sent you the picture.
Listen, I never delete anything, so I'm going to look.
So I would have texted you a picture as a reminder.
You never know when that's going to come in handy.
Yeah. Anything I say can and will be used against me.
There is no statute of limitations. And
if you scroll long enough in my phone, you'll see text messages from
you're like me.
Years and years ago.
You are See, I'm getting a text message from a peer support leader in another community, and I'm just going to check that really quick here. Okay, we'll deal with that later. It's not urgent. If I could find, I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up, Emily, and see.
Oh yeah. I want to share the story behind this photo sometime with you.
You got it, yeah.
And
it was
yeah,
you got it.
Looks like he's a.
Who is that guy?
I don't know. Is it a priest? He's got the white thing.
Looks like a priest, right?
Yeah, with glasses.
Yeah, he's got glasses. He's a young guy.
Is this a younger version of you?
Yeah, that's me.
It is?
But you are a detective.
Look at that. You know how I could tell? That dark Italian hair. And the smirk. The smirk.
The smirk. A little smirk. I know nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Yeah, forget about it.
How old were you in this?
We had first came 12. I was probably 30. So that was let's see. I bet you I was about 32.
Okay.
So yeah, that was 30 years ago. Is that right? Oh my God.
Are you 62?
I'll be 62 on my next.
When's your birthday?
I just turned 61, so I got a ways to go. January. So I'm 61, Emily. Yeah, I was young. I was about 31, 32 there.
Okay.
And I didn't have to dress that way in my pulpit for my church, but the story behind that was this: talking about getting a nudge that ultimately saved somebody's life. It had to do with that darn shirt, that ensemble. So we're out here in Illinois, and one of my brothers at that time was going to be getting married in Connecticut. We got invited. Of course, we're going to go. But the whole time leading, before we would have to book the flight and all that, I kept getting this nudge to buy the clergy shirt.
Is that the white thing?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
and
that's
the black shirt.
Yep.
Okay.
And it didn't make any sense to me. It made no sense whatsoever. I'm like, oh man, I just knew I was supposed to buy it. So my wife says, "What are you doing?" She keeps a close watch on my spending. And I said, I'm ordering this shirt. She goes, "Why? You don't have to wear this in church. I mean, I wear a suit, tie, and jacket." I said, "I don't know. I think I'm just supposed to buy it." And she goes, "What a dork." That's the way my wife talks to me. "You're such a dork." I'm like, okay. So I bought the darn shirt. Didn't know what to do with it. And getting closer to the wedding, now we're getting ready to pack, suitcase. She says, "What are you doing? What'd you put that in the suitcase for?" "Well, I don't know. I'm supposed to bring it." Now, Emily, it makes no sense. None of this makes any sense, but I believe in signs. I believe in nudges. I believe that you are a minister like I am. You are. And God's going to talk to you, and you're going to be like, my radar is going up. Something's happening here. So I brought the darn thing out to Connecticut with us, right? And she says, you're not wearing that. I said, okay. I'm just trying to play it cool. And I'm getting all kinds of opposition from the one person that means more to me than anything, right? That never happens. And it was on a particular night, a particular day rather, I thought, this is the day I have to wear this. Now, so we're out there, and this was the night before the rehearsal. So this would have been Thursday night, rehearsal was Friday, okay, and the wedding's Saturday. So now I got to wear this. And my wife says to me, well, I'm not going to go around with you looking like that. You know, it's foolish. And I'm like, whatever. So you go your way, I go my way. And I'm walking around town. Of course, everybody says, oh, hello, Father.
Yeah.
You know, good afternoon, Father. I'm like,
Well, I mean, honestly,
yeah.
I thought that was just a Catholic thing. Is it not?
So anybody, any member of the clergy could wear they do make different colors too.
Oh.
Black is just kind of traditional, right?
Sure.
But yeah, but it is required in the Catholic Church, and some other denominations do. But there are those, you know, who do wear that, and it's like, well, it makes you easily identified.
Absolutely.
Member of the clergy. Okay, I got no problem with it. I really don't. In fact, it'd make things a whole lot easier if I could just wear that every Sunday and not try to pick out a tie and jacket, you know. But so I wear it. Now here's the way this thing went down. So I'm walking around, and now I'm with my youngest brother's the one getting married, and then my other brother. So I forget, one other brother wasn't with us, but he said, hey, I got to bring, at the time his daughter was very young, I got to bring her back to her mother across town. And so, yeah, we'll just take a ride. And we were just together, just brothers hanging out, right? So we went to the house, and the house sat on a corner. It was, I don't know how many families lived in it, but his baby mama lived upstairs. And so, you know, I'm standing out on the sidewalk with him because it's a beautiful fall day. And I watch him go up the stairs, and they're having some words up there which are not very pleasant. So there's things going on that I wasn't aware of. And we think that there was some other stuff happening to her by some of maybe the other boyfriends that she would have. Okay, anyway. So I'm standing there, and it's kind of like twilight now. And around the corner in the shadows, I could see somebody hanging out in the shadows. I'm like, who the heck is that? And, you know, I'm standing there with my other brother, and this one's up the stairs with the baby, with the kid. And then here comes this guy around the corner, and he's got a hoodie on, and he's got his hands, I don't know if they were in his pocket or in his waistband. And I'm like, he's got something in his waistband. I'm like, what the heck is... So I see him, and he does not look like an upstanding citizen.
Gary, do you think you should have been a cop? You make these observations, and those are good observations.
Well, thank you, Detective. I am so blessed and honored right now. Only if I could be your partner.
Okay.
Yeah? I mean, just imagine the two of us together. The trouble
we'd be
we'd
hilarious.
Get. Oh, man, it'd be...
All I'll say is thank God Emily's with you. Keep you in mind.
Okay, so he comes around, and he does not look like an upstanding citizen.
Does not. And he has a certain look about him. His complexion was different than mine. His hair certainly was different than mine. Of course, I had hair going back then. Now I just buzz it off. But I'm like, something's not right here. And so he's coming around, and he's looking up the stairs. My brother's up there, and they're arguing or doing something. And I'm like, oh, he's here for my brother. I'm like, uh-oh. So I stepped in front of him to stop him. I said, hey, you know, I introduced me, dope. You know, hi, you know, I'm Gary and blah, blah, blah. And I'm here with my brother. He's getting married. And oh, that's my other brother up there. And the whole time I'm talking to him, he's doing this. He's looking at the collar, looking up at me. I'm like,
He knows you're with the church.
right? My brother comes down the stairs, and talk about the language. Now there's F this, F that. And this guy with his hands down here, I'm like, hey, I said, whoa, hold on a minute. We're just here to drop off the girl, the baby. And I said, stop. Just stop swearing and just go back upstairs or do something. Let me finish talking to this guy. So as we're going through whatever we're talking about, he reaches into his pocket, and I'm like, this may not be good. And I'm standing there. Yes, I'm ready to meet Jesus. I just don't want to do it right now, you know. And he pulls, is the weirdest thing. he pulls out a picture, a photograph that had been ripped in half. I could see it had been ripped in half, and the half that he had, he hands it to me. It's a picture of my brother that's up the stairs. He says, "I respects this. Here's a gift for you. I was going to kill him tonight." He said, "I respects this. Here's a gift for you." So my beautiful brother comes down the stairs, and I hand him the picture. He says, "What? Who do you?" He's going on and on. I'm like, "Oh my God, can you just stop?" So this guy left. I guess this was a current boyfriend who was abusing. Yeah, and so he left. I said to my brother, I said, "We're going right down to headquarters." I said, "We're going to file a report against this dude and against this whole situation. This picture's, he was going to do something to you."
Yeah.
So we go down there, we fill out the report, and go through the wedding, no incident, go back home, and I'm like, I felt vindicated. I said to my wife, "I respects this. I respects this that you didn't want me to buy and take." So we're back in Illinois, and I get a phone call from my father-in-law, the retired detective. He said, "Hey, guess what case I just worked?" That night, that guy went to the indoor parking garage of the mall and killed somebody that night.
Oh my God.
So he went away for murder. So he didn't kill my brother. He went and killed somebody else. I guess he just had to go do something to somebody.
Evil.
He said, yeah. So I thought, isn't that fascinating? So no matter what nudge you get, just learn to follow it, because you could save somebody's life. Have a conversation. Ask somebody a question. Hey, you doing okay? Why do you ask? I don't know. I just wanted to see how you're doing. Well, actually, no, I'm not doing okay. We are our brother's keeper, and I think that we're going to get those nudges, and it could very well be the difference between life and death for somebody. It has been for what I do in my ministry. So I can't say enough about what we're doing, and I think that we have a higher power guiding us. I really do. I just kind of feel that, especially that with Deputy Muscle and that CPD officer telling me something's coming off of you. I'm like, wow, thank you. That was validation and confirmation, is that let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's not mess it up. Let's not kick the faith component out the door, because we need that. I need it to do my job. What say you as we close? Because I don't know. I'm looking at the clock. I'm thinking I'm starting to get a little hangry. I'm thinking about eggplant parm, but yeah, this has been good. Impressed with the detective? Yeah. And her hair looks good too, doesn't it?
And I didn't swear too much.
That
That right there is probably the top accomplishment today.
How did that even happen?
I don't even think I said the F word, did I?
Not one time. You should just say it just to make yourself no.
She had the face like, "Oh, really?"
I know. I was like, how am I going to work this in?
You did very good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I tried real hard.
So you're like a professional podcaster.
Yeah.
Well,
you
here's
were
the
very
thing:
good.
is I represent my last name, which I took from Danny,
Understood.
but I also represent the department.
Yes, you do
Very
very
well.
well.
Thank you.
Absolutely, very well. Yeah, and I am going to go down there and harass her before we leave.
You
Before I
should.
leave, I
You
have
should.
to. And you do it very well. I got to tell you, there's some good people that work here.
Absolutely.
And we got some great first responders in the county. That it's a great place.
We're very fortunate in this
yeah.
county.
Gary, are there any other, besides the fire side, in our county, are there other police departments that have a peer support team?
Not officially. And now there's the CISM team.
Yeah, not that.
But not for peers. We're it. We are the peer support team in Ogle County.
Yeah.
I noticed in my training, I said, we have a peer support team. I'm from Ogle County Sheriff's Office. Mm-hmm. We have a peer support team. And people are like, you have a team? You're not here just for you to get? I'm like, no, we have a whole team. Like, somebody from the jail patrol. We have a pastor.
Yeah.
Like, we have a team of people.
Yeah.
So we can all kind of share carrying that bag, right? But there was the people I was in training, and mind you, most of them were from the suburbs. There was, I think, 2 ladies from South Beloit, and I think those were like the closest people to our agency.
Yeah.
They were just kind of shocked that we had a whole team dedicated to this, So hopefully, I'm hoping that they brought that back to their department or agency and encouraged their bosses to get more people into the training to help create a team so that there's I think we kind of touched on it before. Maybe somebody feels comfortable talking to me about something, the living through the June 12th incident, and so they want to talk to me. But then maybe somebody who needs more spiritual or faith-based listener,
Right.
and they would do better with you, And so
Yeah.
I think that's what's great is the different dynamics
Right.
having multiple people bring
Absolutely.
is. And I hope that those other people that I was in training with went back to their agency and encouraged their bosses to expand.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big thing.
It is.
Just with this department here, to see how they've totally embraced this. I mean, it's from the top all the way through. And that's what you need. You need that support all the way through. But admin is looked at as, this is a tool that we can provide, but we know that we're hands off on it. If you need something, I know that they would get it for you. But they're not going to tell you how to do it. They're not going to, hey, what did Emily say?
Right.
Or anything like that. It's they respect the confidentiality and they understand that that's the only way that that's going to work.
Yeah.
And it's a great tool. But you're right. There's a lot of departments, a lot of agencies that don't. They look at this and they're afraid of it from an administration point of view. How do we do this, et cetera. But and if somebody's out there thinking that and give you a call, I mean, we'll have the information at the end of this where they could contact you, and we'd be glad to help anybody
Absolutely. Yeah.
learn more about this so
Right.
that they can get it started. Because it is effective.
Well, and the model that we have, I mean, it works. I mean, it's your peer support team leader is a pastor, a member of the clergy, a chaplain, and to have, because you could overload. If you just have one person, I mean, that person can't be everywhere and do everything. You're going to overload that person. And I know that it works well, and we've actually had some influence over Department Out East. I was contacted about how do we do things here, and I made a suggestion. I sent a little, I typed it out and sent it out there. Here's what I recommend. They followed it to a T. They put it right into practice. I was so happy.
Good for them.
That we could help somebody, so we are willing to help provide guidance or maybe some advice or whatever, and. It works very well, and this is something to be very proud of. I really am. I couldn't be more happy and grateful, and what a great agency to do this with.
Yeah.
Seriously. But yeah, as we grow and develop, I mean, obviously with the fire service side, that's something that I hope to really get that going too, so that we have more on the fire service side to be a part to say, hey, you guys, this fire department just needs somebody. We could do it too, but you guys understand the fire service side better,
Well, I think there's a lot of overlap between agencies too, because we go to the same calls and support one another, and that can be that outside agency person that you can talk to,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
even if it is a fireman.
But Gary, what I'm thinking is we need to add on to the sheriff's office, maybe like kind of go up, get those huge lazy boy chairs, and that would be the peer support room. So like you got to talk to someone, hey, meet me in the peer support room. We meet there.
Yeah.
You have to have a special key card to get in, so nobody can get in and listen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
use the chairs.
And use the chairs.
You get it. You listen, you nap, you listen, you
here's
nap.
where the fire service side comes in.
Gary
telling you.
brings Italian food.
Italian food, meatballs.
Well, I mean, if you think about when we meet with people, what do we generally meet? Over food,
That's biblical,
You
right?
know.
You got to break
Breaking
bread.
bread.
and then you
Right.
talk,
Yeah.
and you talk about your days,
See?
and I'm full of ideas.
But see what we're going to do when we leave this room? We're going to go talk to somebody and plant that seed in somebody. build up, put a nice. I could see it. We had, yeah. I'm full of ideas too, but all it takes is some money and some buy-in.
That's right.
Right? It's like this won't come out of the budget because we have corporate sponsors or we have grant money. So I keep
Yes.
thinking about grant money, corporate sponsors to do what we do. Let's do this right. And yeah, why not? I had this idea about having a peer support room where it's just the ambiance would be so peaceful and relaxing, having a little waterfall thing with the water and the music or the birds chirping, and you're just sitting there like, life is good.
Did you have lazy boy chairs in that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, you gotta have
Yeah.
lazy boys. You know.
You got to be comfortable.
You do. And then what we could do, I'll talk to Mama Cortese and say, listen, eggplant parm today, baked mastacholi the next day, right?
Yeah.
You do baked mastacholi at all? Yeah.
I with like the cheese melted on top, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. See.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody's thinking about food. Emily, thank you. That is a great idea. And I really am going to go down there and mention that we have a great idea to throw out there and see what happens. See where that goes.
Just get some grants and some sponsors.
Yeah.
Or play the Queen of Hearts over in Rochelle at the VFW. All you have to do is win.
That's all you have to do.
You just have to win. You have to get your card picked and have picked the right number to find the Queen of Hearts. That's it.
One more funny story for you. This has to do with lottery tickets.
Okay.
I was asked to go out to lunch. Somebody from the church said, hey, they said, Pastor, can I take you out to lunch? Yeah, no problem. I'd love to. Go out to lunch. We're sitting at the table. And he pulls out 4 lottery tickets and lays them out after I'm done eating. He says, can you bless these tickets for me? I said, well, I've never done that before, and I'm not sure that would even work. But if I could figure out how to make it work, I'd pray for I would get lottery tickets and make it work for me. I said, I'll tell you what. If you win, would you give the church? I said, would you give the church 10% of the? And it was like a big jackpot. That son of a gun. He went like this. He looked down at the tickets. He went, no, the church don't need that much money.
Oh my God.
I said, well, I'm not praying for your tickets. And that was it. Thank you for lunch. And I got up and left. I don't even know what happened, but never had that happen since or before.
Oh, gosh.
But yes, I'm not opposed to somebody giving me a winning lottery ticket. That would be fine. But so if somebody were interested in helping donate to the cause, how do we direct them? I mean, they can get a hold of me and I'll get a hold of you and say, hey, we got somebody that wants to donate to the cause. That would be great.
I would think that there would be corporate sponsors that would be interested in that.
Especially for mental health, for
Yeah.
first responders.
Right.
I mean, I mean, it's 2025. I think we all realize how important mental health is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, this is good, Emily. We should we'll continue this conversation off camera. And we'll
Okay.
just put some traction to some of this, Detective. This has been amazing. You feel balanced out, your sugar level good? And,
Yeah, and I
Okay.
want to point out one thing.
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
I talked about self-care, you know, and the good sleep, the working out, taking vacations, doing what makes you happy, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm drinking a Monster here, okay? That's full of caffeine. It's not exactly looked at as a healthy option, right, in life. I just want to note that this month, Danny has been training a new sergeant, which means she's been on their rotation, which means getting up at 3:45. Today was a 3:45 day. This is not what I usually drink during the day. It was a get me by because the day started at 3:45. So,
This is that shift you were talking about.
yeah.
The day didn't go like normal.
Yeah. So I make good decisions. Make good
Sometimes, yeah.
decisions, but
Yeah.
today I need a little extra caffeine.
I understand.
Day.
I understand.
So I didn't want people to watch this and be like, oh, she's drinking a Monster.
She's drinking a Monster.
No, it's not very healthy.
He only sleeps 4 hours.
You got to work on that, Gary.
I am. I'm going to try that. I seriously am, because as soon as my brain is going nonstop. It's like, I don't want to do this. Keep trying to figure things out, when I wake up, and it's just immediately. And, but of course, I think too, I hate to say this, but I start anticipating another call coming
Sure.
from me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So you get anxiety.
it's like constantly thinking about it. Yeah.
After that shooting we had, I had to talk to someone. someone who could give me more coping mechanisms.
Yeah, yeah,
And so
yeah.
I went and talked to this guy. His name's Mark Hansel. Hansel.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, and I chose him because he's a retired canine handler, retired cop from Rockford PD.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. He knows like my life, right? He understands. Not like a typical counselor, right? This is a friggin' retired cop that
Yeah.
who's walked the beat, who
Yeah.
understands the shit. And I've talked to him many times since the shooting. And I'd bring up stuff or I'd talk about things I'm worried about. And he's like, listen, I need you here right now in the present. I can't have you worried about things in the future and having anxiety, right? We don't have control over that. You can't be anxious. You need to be right here, okay? So if you are in the future and you're worried about things and you're anxious, you're not in here. You're not here now. And if you are,
In the past.
and unless you're learning something from the past, you're actually taking a lesson to do better, right? Moving forward, but you're just lingering in the past, questioning everything, and you're not learning, you're not in the now. And you need to be in the now. You need to be in the present. And there'd be times when we're in a session and I'm talking about something and I'm going. He's like, Emily, I need you in the present. You're getting worked up about something that may not even happen. And I'm like, oh, yeah. You're right, Mark. And he brings, you got to come back to the present. So I know what I know what you're talking about, Gary, being worried about something, and then you can't sleep because you're worried about it. Tomato.
You might try football, though, because tomato's probably going to lead you down a different road and get you.
To meatball.
That might
to
be more awake.
Parmesan.
Heading to the
And
refrigerator.
then going, honey,
Parmesan. Well,
can you go make me up?
I could tell you the football, the F would be fried calamari.
Yeah,
right there.
I tried.
And oysters. Oh, yeah, baby.
What did you send me a picture of the other day?
What
Freaking 2 pieces of bread. Disgusting.
Oh, that was a beautiful. That was anchovies.
Anchovies and
Oh, my
bread.
God.
I'm like, what are you
that
eating?
was the olive oil on that beautiful bread. You lay those anchovies.
I just know.
Oh, Emily, we're good. Well, I have one daughter and one of my grandsons that we eat the anchovies. We're the only ones in the family, and we just open up the can and just eat them out of the
Just
can.
eat 'em.
Does he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Anchovy pizza.
No.
Somebody must be hungry at this table. Yeah. Well, this has been amazing, guys. I really appreciate Emily. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I
taking
appreciate
the
it.
time, and we're going to get this. This is now he'll be the editor in chief, so he'll edit everything, and we'll get this. We'll make it available. We'll do it in segments, and then we're also going to create short. I guess you call them short reels or short videos too. So we'll put those on other social media platforms.
Cool.
So you already are famous, but now everybody's gonna be like, "Who's that detective who drinks Monsters?" Yes. Yeah. And thank you, DC and Chief. Thank you very much. So, I have a chief deputy to go harass too. So, thank you everybody for
Thank you.
joining us. We'll see
Appreciate
ya.
it.